Hello everyone and welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a what sold video. Going to be talking about what sold. Welcome to my channel. I'm Stephanie. I sell on eBay part-time and have been doing that for a lot of years. I sell mainly women's clothing and accessories, but I also sell some other things in there if I find things that are going to sell for well. Okay, so let's just get right to it. I'm actually today just going to talk about what's sold on eBay. I also do sell at a couple other places. I actually sell, eBay is my main place where I sell, but I also have a couple of consignment stores I sell at, and I do sell at the Real as well. And I also sell when I bring things to my YouTube channel. I sell there first and usually for a much lower price. So just some things to keep in mind. So let's go ahead and discuss what has sold on eBay. And this is about in the last 10 days or so. The first thing that sold is this Anthropology. It's actually, no, Saturday Sunday is the brand of cardigan. This is a really pretty cardigan. Saturday Sunday is a brand that is sometimes sold at Anthropology. It's not one of their own brands. I got this at a thrift store a long time ago. I believe I got it for about $6. And it sold for $22. It took like a year to sell. So that kind of took a long time, but it did sell, and it was a really pretty cardigan. Moving on to number 2 is this machine. This was a machine I just got at the bins a few weeks ago. You probably saw my video, my thrifting haul video. And this is a So Clean. It's called So Clean. It's a cleaning device for a CPAP machine. I know that somebody in the comments had said, you can't sell items like this, but this is not a prescription device. I would not try and sell prescription devices. That's illegal to do. So this was actually a machine for cleaning a CPAP device. This machine, brand new, it's about $350 or something like that. I sold it for $180. And it was brand new. The products inside had not been unwrapped. The cleaning liquid, I made sure, was still sealed. Nothing was open in there. So this was a great deal for somebody. I sold it for $180. I only paid 50 cents for this at the Goodwill bins. And you know what? I was super glad actually to bring this to somebody, because the next stop after being at the Goodwill bins is not good, and this probably would never have gotten used if for that. So I'm glad that I got to save it from basically from the junkyard. It only took a couple of weeks to sell, by the way, and I got it at the bins. Okay, number 3 is this Burberry Tote. This poor Burberry Tote went on quite a number of trips and journeys before it finally found its owner. I was going to keep this Burberry Tote that came in a DIY designer box. It was absolutely gorgeous. The handles had a little bit of fraying on the edge coat. I cleaned that up. And the inside needed a little cleaning. I cleaned it all up. I conditioned the leather. It looked really good when I was done. I got some of the stains came out on the outside, and it was in very good condition. So I thought about keeping it. I was gonna sell it to a friend, but she decided she didn't want it. And then I sent it to the Real, and I thought, well, I'll just send it in to them. Well, they put it for sale for $139. So I would have gotten, I don't know, $30, $35 for it, something like that. $35, no. And so this is a good point to mention that if you send something into the Real, you can, and you don't like the pricing, or over time it sits there too long and gets discounted, you can always ask for your item back. And as long as they haven't sold it yet, they'll send your item back. You just have to pay $15. $15 to me is not, I think that's a bargain. Because they already took the time to authenticate it. They already took the time to list it, photograph it. I try not to do this very often, but I just thought that price that they listed it for was way too low. So anyway, I got the bag back. I paid the $15 to get it back, and it sold within about a month, and it sold for $159. So I thought that was fair, and the person who got it loved it. So that's perfect. And I kind of wish I had kept it, but I don't really like things that big, so I'm glad for that. So I did okay on that one. Number 4 is this Brahmin purple bag. This was my own bag that I had bought, and I was going to bring it on a trip that I went on, but it was too thick to use in a crossbody capacity. So if you want to be like doing out and touring and with your arms free, it's not good for that because it juts out too much. So I really didn't feel like keeping it in my, my box of things. I have a box of like, not a box, a storage container of things that I love, and this just didn't, I just knew I wouldn't use it. So anyway, it was my own, so I paid more than this for the bag. I think I paid $149 for it, but I sold it for $110, and it took about a couple weeks to sell. Number 5 is this Lisa Corti Textiles Cosmetic Bag. I got this at a thrift store in California. I think I paid about $5 for it. I didn't know the name Lisa Corti, but I could tell by the beautiful fabric that it was a really cool, she's a very talented fabric designer. I didn't know that before I found this, but I could tell when I looked it up. There were a ton of followers on this bag, this cosmetic bag. It was in very good condition. It wasn't new, but it was really clean and there was no stains. And anyway, it took 3 months or so to sell, and it sold for $23. So again, that was from a thrift store in California. Not sure if I shared that, but number 6 is this pair of Adidas Yeezy Boost tennis shoes. I had these listed higher for a few months, and it did take several months for these to sell. I kept making offers to people, but they just didn't, people just didn't take me up on the pricing. They were a little bit beat up, honestly. So, I mean, and of course I took good pictures, and so people could see that. So anyway, when an offer came in for $55, I took that offer, and they sold for $55. By the way, these were in a DIY designer box. I've never gotten any before or since then, any of that brand. So yeah, it's pretty happy. At $55, I believe it's $100 and up if they go for, then you get to, they're a part of the eBay authentication program. But these sold for $55, so they did not. But anyway, the customer was very happy to get them. So moving on to number 7 is this beautiful Millie cashmere sweater, brand new with tags. I got this at a thrift store in Florida. I paid $30 for it. I listed it, and it had genuine feathers on it. It was cashmere, and it was Millie branded. I thought it would sell immediately, but it didn't sell immediately, but it did sell. It sold for $89, and it took about 3 months to sell. I was super excited about finding that at a thrift store, and I did not think $30 was a bad price on that item as well. So, and this is a really short what sold video. I only have 2 more items. Number 8 is this Versace men's polo shirt, and that came in a DIY designer box, and it sold within just a couple days for $32. My cost was a little over $20, so with fees I'd made a little bit of money, but not a lot. My strategy, by the way, on DIY designer boxes, I know fully ahead of time I'm not going to make a big bucks on every single item that sells, as long as I can get my money back on, the items, some of the items, if I get some money back on the items that sell, and then 1 or 2 or 3 of them get a good profit, then that has to be my thinking. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't buy the boxes. If I was meant to make a huge profit on every single item, it just doesn't happen. So this shirt, I was glad to get this for it. This is about what they're selling for, ones like it. So yeah, used ones at least. And then the last item is this Steve Madden gift set. I think the retail gift price on it was $99. It was a bag, a handbag and scarf gift set, and it sold for $55. It took about 6 months to sell, but this item was, guess what? The gift that keeps on giving, TJ Maxx Yellow Tag clearance sale. I did really well on this one. Almost everything I get on that Yellow Tag clearance is great profits. So I do not regret spending the time getting all that stuff and organizing it in my house. It was a great decision to do that. So that is all of the items that have sold this week. I've been thinking about starting to add my what sold on the Reel, including that along with my eBay what sold. So I don't know. Let me know what you think of that. The pricing structure, of course, is different because on the Reel, someone else sells it and I just get a commission on my own items. So if you would like to see those included in what sold, let me know. And thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.